So yeah, I started becoming more consistent with fitness exercise. And I realized my drives from Lafayette, like they take up a lot of my day. Not only the drive, but that like an additional full like work day.
Yeah.
So what I would do to like make sure I got like my fitness in for that day or something, I would have my jump rope with me. And so after like the work day, I would go into the parking lot and just start jump roping.
Hey, welcome back to the Better Fitness Proof podcast. I'm your host, Matt April, and today I'm really excited because we have someone who many of you don't even realize that we have the man behind the camera here to be part of the Better Fitness Proof podcast. JaQuan, who is part of the BOB team. But JaQuan, can you introduce yourself and tell everyone a little bit more about you?
Yeah, I can. So my name is JaQuan, also known as JaQuan Productions.
Yeah.
So usually I'm behind the camera, but today I'm in front, giving you guys a little insight of what I do and who I am. So, yeah.
Love it. And we're going to get into it so much because you're here for twofold. One, so that members and, even our team can get to know the man behind the camera better. Mm-hmm. But also, you've had your own really inspiring journey. So why don't we captivate everyone who may not know you yet or may not have crossed paths with you yet with the fitness side of things. So tell me about your transformation in just the year that we've known each other. Talk to me about
So, in the course of over the year, I've completely changed. Well, I've completely changed my habits for the most part. Completely changed my habits, my mindset. In turn, that has given me a lot of growth. So last year, weight-wise, I was about 287. And so as of today, right now, I'm about 230-ish. So wow. I've made some great progress over the year, great gains.
Over just the year, man?
Yeah.
50 pounds?
Yeah.
Wow. I know because I can see it in you, and like you're a whole different guy from when you came in here for the first sit down when we met to who you are now. Way more confident, way in shape, yes, but like your fitness and your mindset and everything, yes, much. Huge transformation. Yeah. That's huge. But continue.
It was crazy how much it has changed my like confidence level, my mood in general. Okay, before I continue, this isn't my first weight loss journey, like my first major weight loss journey. Back in 2018, I was able to lose about 37 pounds. I forget what my starting weight was, but it was about like 260 or so. 260 or something. But yeah, I was able to lose 37 pounds. But eventually I gained it all back plus more. So this second time around, like my main focus is creating small habits so that it's not just a diet, but like a lifestyle, basically. And so I don't have to think about and always stress or worry about like, oh, I can't eat this, or I can't do that, or like I always have to be working out, or it's not good in a way, basically causing unneeded stress. So the goal for me right now is to create those small habits, nutrition and gym wise, to just live the life I want.
Oh, it's beautiful. That is it, man. The nail on the head. You've already did it. And we can wrap up the show now. So thank you so much for doing it. No, but that's great. You're right, because you've been on the journey. You said back in 2018 you had already gone through the weight loss journey yourself, and then ended up gaining the weight back and a little more. And that happens with so many people who come in here to work with us, but so many people outside of our own networks, everyone in this world, when we're on this idea of I need to change my life, I need to change myself, I need to change my health, my fitness, it's it results in some sort of number goal, right?
Yeah.
So I have a weight loss
Yeah.
goal, and then you focus on a tool that will help you get through that goal. So it's a diet or a workout program or a combination of the two things.
Yeah.
And it's never something that is, how can I make this work that is sustainable for my life? So it's a lifestyle instead of a tool.
Yeah.
And that's what I admire most about your story.
And that first journey that I went on, like my goal was to lose as much weight as possible in the shortest amount of time, which is not it. It's appealing to people, but my advice is to take it easy, don't rush the process, take it slow, and just enjoy your journey and learn from it, because that's how you will like keep it off long term, basically. Just that's where you'll see the most benefit.
It's the most sustainable way.
Yeah, the most sustainable way. Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to me. So I mean, okay, you've already piqued my interest, everyone else's interest, but let me fix my hair here because I got some crazy hair today. It's been super humid today. All right. So I want you to take me back to a time before we knew JaQuan, before you, who you are, the man who you are today. Maybe back to the 2018 JaQuan. Maybe before that. But give everybody the abridged version of who you were and your background that brings you to who you are today.
Okay. Well, I can go back to why I love creating videos, why I'm into that stuff. And it all started with video games.
It all started with video games.
Yeah, it all started with video games, as weird as it sounds. But when I was a teenager, I would be on YouTube and just watch like gaming videos, and like they would create like really cool montages with all these cool special effects, and I was like, I want to do that. That looks really cool. So I bought a capture software and editing software. It was very basic editing software, not much, but yeah, I got all that. Went through the process of creating the video, uploaded it to YouTube, and I gotta say it was very terrible.
It was very terrible.
Very terrible.
The video?
Yeah, the video was very terrible.
Right.
Quality was not the best. The effects weren't the best. And people let me know in the comments.
Yeah,
people let me know in the comments.
They will. They will let you know.
So yeah, from it all started with video games, and then eventually I had invested. Well, it all started with video games, and then I continued on like more of the video editing aspect, because that's like my favorite part of video production is video editing. So once it took me about like a year or two to get like really acquainted or proficient with it.
And this is all self-taught, right? Yeah. You just learned it yourself.
This is all self-taught back when I was in high school.
Okay.
And then eventually I invested in my first camera. So the goal was...
What was your first camera?
It was a Canon PowerShot.
Okay.
So it was like a point and shoot camera.
One of those ones that are like a square?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. It had a really good zoom. I was able to zoom into the moon. Very, very cool. Very
Wow.
cool. But yeah, the goal was to take what I've learned, just like through video editing and just like through those gaming videos I would make, and to apply that to the camera, basically, which was a very seamless transition, because I already had the knowledge of, video editing and stuff, and just like what looks like what, and just like, doing that. But yeah.
So then that inspired the journey that brought you to us, which was to go to school for this, right?
Yeah.
So where did you go to school?
I went to school at Kutztown University.
Okay.
Graduated in 2020.
You graduated in 2020.
Yeah. You didn't know that?
No, I did. I'm just, this is, I have to ask you things for the audience. Like, I'm reacting for the audience. Like, you graduated in 2020. What was that like graduating in 2020?
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. It was very disappointing when we had to leave campus early, especially senior year. And that was also like my internship, but we'll get into that soon. But yeah, it was very disappointing when I had to leave campus early, senior year, last year. And that was the year that I finally had my own room.
Really?
Yeah. So
your own room to do what? Like to sleep?
Yeah, my own room to sleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like to live in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have a roommate.
Oh.
Well, yeah.
So you just you're literally your own.
I have my own space.
Basically. Okay, cool.
Yeah. But it was it was sad, but it is what it is, you know.
What did you learn from that experience?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. I don't. I'm not sure what I learned, but I try my best to have a positive outlook on things. Just like no matter the situation. And I know that's not always like possible, but you know, it was it was a weird year, and it was also like from 2020 to 2021, it just felt like a blur, you know. Um, it was just overall, it was just a weird year. But like once I was out of school, once I graduated, it was in the pandemic year. So I was looking for a job, couldn't find much really. So I decided to start a YouTube channel. Well, again, yeah, start a YouTube channel. And so I would just create videos just about photography and videography and just like kind of give tips and tricks on what to do. And just like, I don't know, just try to put my personality out there basically.
Yeah. Elevating the platform that you had found a passion for while watching YouTube, right? In high school, and understanding that that was a thing that drove you to go study videography in school, and have a degree in it, and then you were able to then exit school, although not being in the most pleasing of times, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put it lightly.
Yeah, it wasn't the best, not the best, but it allowed me to really think about. Well, I'd say it allowed me to really focus on what I want to do for my future, basically. It was just, it's just an unpleasing time.
It was. But that moment, even though you may not have learned something from in that moment, thinking about it right now, it actually allowed for the universe in a way to guide you in a path that brought you here, and that brought you to Lafayette, and brought you to all the places and all the other potentials and potential possibilities and opportunities that you had, and that you did use and capitalize on. And so selfishly on my end, I'm so grateful that you had to go through what you had to go through, because it brought you to our door, and it allowed for you to be a part of our community and part of the BOB family and part of the team.
Yeah.
And now we're a year later, practically a year later, right? I'm not trying to date the podcast, but for now, in terms of it all, about a year later.
It's crazy how fast the year goes by.
Right? Yeah. Time flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, it does.
That's what it is.
It does.
We've been having a lot of fun. At least I believe we're having a lot of fun. And you have gone from starting off in a year ago, creating just like a couple little sample things for us, to now being a part of all the video content that people see. I would say at least 90% of it, maybe even more, on our Instagram and our YouTube. You've had a part in that. You've either captured it yourself, or you've put it together and edited it and made it sound and look so much better than if I had tried to do it myself. So you have an amazing talent and skill that you're just now tapping into. Like, even though you've been working on it for years, sometimes it does take the years.
Yeah.
And those ugly years, and those things that people will troll you and comment all over you on, right? People can dig back through, and I'm not sure if you have or not, but if people are on our YouTube channel watching and listening to this, they could surely dig back a few years back, 2014, 2015, when I was trying to figure out my voice and trying to figure everything else out. There are some pretty embarrassing things that people can pick me apart for. But the fact that you've been able to continue to push yourself and push the needle and move the chains, and all the analogies I'm thinking of here, just continue to move forward, speaks volumes of your character. And that's why I think you have been so successful in your fitness journey by creating those habits. So tell me about some of those habits that you've started for yourself that have been working really well.
Like fitness wise, or just like life?
Fitness and life.
Okay. Well, so we can start with fitness, but the first thing is I've paid more attention to nutrition labels. It's very interesting to see how many calories, like things are basically. Yeah. Like I just not too long ago I learned that like 2 Oreos is like 200 calories, which is crazy to think about. Like 2 small cookies. But yeah, so nutrition and just like fitness, being able to learn, or just being able to take advice and learn from it. So when I first started like my fitness, I went on YouTube and I looked at like what other people were doing, and I tried it, but not everything that they were doing worked for me. So over time, I would like take from like what I learned from them and kind of just like develop it into my own ways that actually work for me. Um, and yeah, that actually worked for me. And
And you stay consistent with it.
yeah,
Like you'll find something and you'll try it and you'll apply it.
mm-hmm.
And I've seen it in watching your videos and your Instagram stories and seeing you here in the gym, like
Yeah,
lifting sometimes.
yeah.
You've become more consistent now, but I know back like a year ago, I feel like you were dabbling in little things here and there. And what I've noticed over the past at least like 6 months specifically, you've really improved your abilities to take in more of your surroundings and
Yeah.
prioritize things like strength, right? I see
Yeah.
you lifting more now than I did before, way before in the beginning. And although you still keep conditioning and cardio as a priority, it's not the only thing you're doing
Yeah.
anymore. You're
Yeah.
now looking at strength and considering strength because I think the environment you're in, but also because you now understand how important strength is for building habits
Yeah.
and keeping it as something that will stick and that will add more resilience to your body. So you can do things like more cardio. You can do things like be more mindful of how you're eating because your strength is kind of the motivating factor there, right? You want to be more aware of what you're doing.
Like I realized that about myself, that like my environment really affects like how I am basically. And so I try to put myself in the best environment around the best like group of people just so that I can learn from them. And like I'm always looking out for things that, I can learn from others and stuff like that. So it's just that's just like one way that helps me grow. It's just like always trying to learn something new.
Yeah.
Always trying to gain new information, stuff like that.
Well, that's again part of character, right? It's part of building character. You may not be someone who always thinks that way. The 2018 JaQuan probably wasn't like that. You probably weren't in that mindset of like I need to take a step back from what I think I know and soak up the knowledge of people around me. And sometimes you're not able to spend time with the people who are around you, but it's also the social media channels that you follow, so Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and the YouTube. It's all of those messages and people who are sending those messages, how it plays a role in what we're thinking and then what we're living and what we're doing in our life. And so for me, I invest in having coaches, people who are way further ahead of me in fitness and in business, because I know that in order for me to get ahead and to move forward, I have to spend my time learning from them, listening to them, watching them, doing what they're doing. But they're not geographically close spending time with them. It's spending time listening to their podcasts, spending time watching their social media channels instead of just the super, super, super fit like bodybuilder guy online saying to use his supplements because he's got that shredded from using these supplements. Like that's not how you got that shredded, dude. Stop doing that. Like don't plug and chug me. So anyway, I digress. But the big takeaway for you is like you've gone through that journey and you're going through it now and you still are. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, or one of the few big takeaways for your story, JaQuan, is that you aren't settling. You haven't stopped. You have actually added more to your routine, right? With the more lifting and stuff. You've gotten weights at your home, right?
Yeah. So we can like pivot into like Lafayette and like my journey from there.
Do everything. Pivot, man. Let's go. Pivot. Let's go.
So I'd say it was 2020 when I got the call and they hired me. And that was back when I was overweight, like 287, 290. But so if you guys aren't familiar, Lafayette is about an hour 45 drive from here, which is pretty far. So during like the school year, I would go down there like at least 3 to 4 times a week.
Wow. You were commuting 3 to 4 times a week to Lafayette?
Yeah.
And that's an hour and half hour, 45 minutes away?
Yeah. So
one way?
Yeah, one way. So it's like 3 hours out of my day just traveling. Which was a lot. But yeah, it was one of the nights on my drives home, my really long drive home. That's where I do all my thinking. It's a lot of, a lot of time to think. But yeah, one of the nights on my drive home that I just thought to myself, like, something needs to change, like health-wise. Something needs to change. I'd say I was happy, but I wasn't satisfied. And so I knew that I wanted to get in better shape, One reason being is because camera equipment can become very heavy. But also just for the health benefit and just like feeling good, feeling loose, feeling limber, just being able to do things comfortably. So yeah, ever since that night, I invested more into my home gym, and I got a jump rope so that I could like work out wherever I wanted, basically. Speaking of the jump rope, that was the first things I went to when I started my second like fitness journey. So I remember like when I first started doing it, like just how out of breath and just how tired I was. But like after a week, it's just like I saw the result. Like I saw the results in my cardiovascular. It became easier for me, and like I wouldn't say more fun, but just like exciting, basically, just to like see that growth. But anyway,
can I interrupt you?
Huh?
Can I interrupt you? Just add in
go
here.
ahead.
You know, you said two things in there that it became easier for you. So in the first, you noticed how like how it felt, and then it became easier for you, and then you started to enjoy it. Well, what actually happens is, and this is for everybody, right? This is a big takeaway. It's not that it gets easier for you.
Yeah.
It's the same amount of effort that's required to jump that rope. It's just that you get better at that. You improve yourself. You improve your cardiovascular system. You improve your mechanics. You improve your movements. You improve the recovery, the amount of time it takes for you to recover because your cardiovascular system is operating at a better capacity. And the other little things like your central nervous system, the things that get stressed out from too much exercise all the time, by introducing little bouts of jump rope in your experience, by doing that more consistently, you're allowing yourself to recover and not just going all out for hours of cardio.
Yeah.
But you aren't getting... It's not getting easier. You're getting stronger. You're getting better. You're improving yourself, and that's what's making it more enjoyable. Is that it's not as grueling and grudging and like painful to go through it. And that's what I want to highlight there. So yes, continue to talk. Continue.
So like once I started becoming more consistent with that, I started like rewarding myself more, and investing more into my gym at home. I'd say the big reason why I have a gym at home is just so I have no excuse not to do something. It's very convenient to just like roll out of bed and just go lift weights downstairs. Like it cuts out that extra like mental step for me. And so I started becoming more consistent with fitness exercise. And I realized like, my drives from Lafayette, like they take up a lot of my day. Not only the drive, but that like an additional full like work day.
Yeah.
So what I would do to like make sure I got like my fitness in for that day or something, I would have my jump rope with me. And so after like the work day, I would go into the parking lot and just start jump roping.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
After your full work day of commuting an hour and 45 minutes there, and then working however many hours you're working with recording and editing,
as crazy as it sounds,
you would then go into the parking lot by yourself and just jump rope.
Yeah, and you may think it would be like very tiring, but like it was very therapeutic in a way. Very therapeutic in a way, and like after the jump rope session, I've just felt great, like a very, very great, just very. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know.
Fulfilled?
Yeah, fulfilled, I guess, yeah.
Accomplished?
Yeah, accomplished, yeah. Well, yeah, I felt really great. And so I would do that so I did that for a while. And I was just continuing doing that like throughout the year, throughout the fitness journey. That's kind of how I got started, basically, with the jump rope. And
That right there is the big takeaway for everyone who's watching and listening right now. You know that I prioritize strength, and I love strength, and I love strength training specifically with the foundational movements like think deadlift, bench press, squat, push-up, rows, like those 5 foundational movements. I love those things. But those are things that work for me. And those are things that I became passionate about because I found that I enjoy them the most and that I enjoy the mechanics and the thought process behind it and what it can provide me with my body and the return benefits that I get long term from doing these things.
Yeah.
But we all get started in some way, and I started with jump ropes too when I started getting into it, like really into my fitness and like trying to improve my athleticism. I used to jump rope. I used to do double unders in between my sets. Like I would be the guy at the YMCA, like I would do like my bench press, right? Because I still love it.
Yeah.
And then I would throw in some double unders for like 30 seconds and get huffing puffing out of breath. And of course, my entire journey wasn't to lose; it was to try to gain weight. And it wasn't until a buddy of mine who was like much bigger, he's like, dude, he's like, you're just like not helping yourself gain muscle rate. Like you're not gaining, you're like burning a lot of extra calories right now. And that's when I was like, all right, I'm going to stop with the jump rope. But it's a tool. It's a tool that allowed for you to make the progress you've made now and stay consistent because you found something that you enjoyed that you can stay consistent with. And that's the big takeaway that I wanted to highlight with my silly story that I added in there. Is that you have to find something that works for you with where you are now that you can keep doing that may feel like it's getting easier, but you're getting better because you're staying consistent with it and you're doing it, and you won't have to have a lot of barriers in the way for doing that one thing. So for you, jump rope was that one thing.
Yeah. And then I invested in an Echo bike.
Yeah. Wow. I think we just lost a bunch of listeners right now. He did. He said Echo bike. Yes. As in the thing that we all dread that's out there in the gym right now, BOB. He bought himself an Echo bike.
Yeah. I don't know why, but it's fun to me.
It's fun to you.
Yeah.
Oh, you are a whole different breed.
I mean, I don't do it for the sprints. I mean, sometimes I do, but usually I do it for the cruise. I just do like an Echo bike cruise.
Yeah. It's a good cruise bike.
Yes, I mean, there's all kinds of like probably better options, I guess, like just a stationary spin bike or something. But
I'm not beating it. I love it. I've read multiple miles on that thing. Yeah, when I was training for the half marathons and it was raining outside. Yes.
Yeah, but it's I don't regret it. Don't regret the purchase. It was a great addition to the home gym. Like especially if it's like raining outside. I'm still able to get that cardio in if I want to.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just allows me to push myself even more, just challenge myself. And I always enjoy challenging myself just to see what I can do and what I can learn. And I feel like life's too short not to challenge yourself.
That's right. You're right. It's when we get complacent and we find that we're in like a nice, comfortable place that we start to regress and go backwards. And in terms of health and fitness, like atrophy is a real thing. Like if you're not using your muscles, if you don't use it, you lose it. And especially for any of the adults who are here, like over 40, when your hormone production starts to change up and when your body starts to make changes and you notice different things about you, it's that 40 plus where like that's a real big concern. But when you start at a younger age, or when you get started, no matter what the age is, when you can find something that you can enjoy enough, right? You don't have to love fitness. You don't have to love strength training. You don't have to love jumping rope.
I don't love every workout that I do.
Right. You don't have to love it, but you just got to know that it's there and that you can stay consistent with it and do it maybe 3 days a week, maybe 4 days a week, right? So like how often do you currently, how often do you train?
5 days a week.
5 days a week.
Sometimes 4, depending on how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Did you start off with 5 days a week all the time?
I think I started off with 6 days, but then I slowed that down just to allow my body to rest and recover.
Yeah. And now it's even maybe like more like 4 days sometimes.
Yeah.
And how often do you do strength?
At least 3 times.
3 times of the 4.
Yeah.
3 or 5.
Yeah.
That's perfect. That's the priority.
And if I do strength like 5 times a week, maybe I'll throw in like a 10 or 15 minute cardio session. Not too much to where like I'm dying basically. But
right. Just enough to feel like you've completed and that you've depleted all of your energy in a way that you're not like exhausted and could not continue to perform. Yeah. But enough to feel like you're there. You've done your job. Well, I like that, and I think that a lot of people. Again, big takeaways here if we're looking at like things to bullet point and note is, yes, the consistency is key that we're hitting on. Yes, finding something that can become a routine and a habit that you can keep, so it's a behavior that you don't even think about, like jumping rope. You just naturally do it before you drive home. You do it. And strength is a big thing. So when we're looking at making physical changes to yourself, you can go the route of cardio, which will be, I look at cardio as like the absolute, where like, yes, if you do enough cardio and you don't eat a whole like in your surplus, you will burn calories. And in order to look at weight loss, like it's a matter of just simple speaking. Like there's a lot more to it, right?
Yeah.
Like recovery is important, water's important, proteins are like a lot of there's a lot more. I'm looking at the bare bone basics.
Yeah.
Like if you do cardio and you're not someone who did cardio and you are mindful about your eating habits, like you will see weight loss. We don't know what kind of weight is coming off. Like it could be muscle, could be fat, could be a little bit of both, water. But with incorporating strength like you do, JaQuan, having strength as the foundation allows for your cardio to be that much more productive.
Yeah.
And allows for your days of recovery to be more productive because you're not going the opposite way where you're just burning. You're refueling, rebuilding, and replenishing, and then you can continue to grow, but you're doing it in a sustainable way, which is 4 to 5 days.
Yeah.
For you, that works well. For you as a guy who's in his mid-20s,
Yeah.
right? That's a big thing. We should note here too. We're not in our 40s, 50s, or 60s, like in our 30s and 20s. Like in this stage of life, what we can do to maintain is stay consistent with something that is not too aggressive, but also aggressive enough that we can challenge ourselves.
Yeah.
And I like that. That's yes. So good points. Good takeaways. I'm putting all the words. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm just collecting them and putting them into a linear thought here. So we have them all, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, keep talking, man. So with you and the story, we went from JaQuan from high school, how we got into video, and we talked about how we went to study in college and got your degree in videography and having that background, and then it brought you to the opportunity to work for Lafayette, and how although the commute was a big part of it, and you were able to make the best of that, it allowed you to grow your skill set and grow your awareness and just seeing your stuff from a year ago to currently what you're producing now with us, dude, night and day. So different and so much better. It was already good,
yeah.
But you went from good to like really, really great. It's great, and I cannot wait to see what else is in store in the coming weeks and months for what's in the creative brain of yours. So, where do you see life going now in terms of like with what you want to do with your health and with your physical well-being, your mental well-being, and everything? So talk to me.
Well, right now I'm kind of just like I'm currently recording my fitness journey, I guess you could say. So Instagram, JCrucial.
A little plug.
Yeah, a little plug.
You'll be the one who edits this in later.
Yeah, I will. JaQuan, make sure you put a little link. Yeah.
This is gonna be the best edited video that we have when you do yours. I know it. It's gonna be like all just have maybe little effects like this, like little fire effects. I don't know. Now you gotta remember to throw that in there. Now, if you want to really make me look good.
Yeah, but I was just like recording that just so that I have something to look back to. So I've actually done that the first time, like during my first journey back in 2018.
Yeah.
I've done that on YouTube. So if you guys look back far enough, you'll find it. I forget. Well, I don't. Yeah, maybe I'll link the YouTube channel. Maybe I won't. But yeah, if you guys look back far enough, you'll find my first fitness journey. But I feel like it's always good to record and just to have something to look back on. And so my goal with that, like Instagram page, is just like, I don't know, just like make myself look cool, I guess. And always have something to look back on. Just, yeah. I mean, like, I'm always making videos for other people, but like, sometimes it's nice to have videos for myself, basically.
I admire that, dude. I wish more people had that kind of mentality. And again, so many great takeaways in this episode for people who are watching and listening. But one of those things that you're hitting on now is documenting your journey, right? You're doing so much for everyone else in your life, like for me and for BOB and all of our members and everything, and for Lafayette and for the base, for all the projects that you are working on, that you have worked on, that you will work on. You put so much time and effort into everything else, we forget about ourselves. And what I tell all of our members here, and part of this podcast, is to create the inspiration from within, is to provide it for yourself to yourself. And it's going to be cool when we look back at this a year from now and we hear ourselves talking about it and just see how far we've come. And looking back just a year ago to see the podcast where it was to where it is now, and to hear these stories and to know that you're documenting it for yourself. It is so great on so many levels, but it's the one we're looking at right now is the level of inspiration that you're providing yourself, because you're getting uncomfortable, right? It probably wasn't very comfortable to record yourself, right?
It's not. It's very it's weird in a sense. It's just you're putting yourself out there, It's just, but I feel like it allows me to be more comfortable being in front of the camera. Even though I've done like YouTube videos and stuff, if you haven't done it after a while it becomes like new again. So it's like it's weird, but just getting myself being comfortable expressing myself, just showing who I am, basically.
And you're really good at that. I love seeing your videos. I want more. I selfishly want you to do everything you do for yourself, but I want to do it on my end. So like all your like slow-mo like videos of you like shooting the basketball, and like the really cool ones that you've done recently where it's like all the effects of like the landing and the lifting and of like, dude,
It also
so cool.
like it
So
also
creative.
helps me just like keep me on point with my like video editing and just like video creation, just like keep those skills intact, basically.
Yeah, because I mean it's ever evolving. It's the same thing with fitness and with what we do. Like you can surely have a baseline of what you know, and you continue to provide whatever service it is or whatever thing you do, and do whatever you know in life. But you're only going to get so far because it's only going to get you so far. And there's always people who are learning the new things and evolving and changing. And that's why I believe you have stayed ahead of the curve, and why we stay ahead of the curve here as BOB, because we're not just set in our way. We know what works, we know what doesn't work, but we know there's also so much more that we can learn and grow and provide. So that's why, yes, dude. Yes. Everything.
Yeah.
So if you want to, I know we've covered a couple of different things, but in your journey, I think we missed like the big challenge and the big hurdles that you had to overcome with your own fitness journey. So what was one of the biggest things, or maybe a couple of the big things that you could share and tell us that you've overcome?
I can say the first big thing is that so working at Lafayette is fun, love it. It's just like the only thing that was really big challenge-wise just was the drive there, because it took a lot out of me. But I was able to, not really sure how, but I was able to have a positive outlook. Like I always use that drive time as just like ways to think about my next video, basically. So I just like come up with video ideas just like as I was driving, just like, and listen to music, just like, this video would go good with this song, just like small things like that. And just like, I would already have the video created in my head. I would just need to record it and stuff like that. But anyway, anyway, I'd say the challenge was, like getting past that hurdle of travel, but also like relating to fitness. I didn't see progress, physical progress for the first 2 months. And so that was I'm not gonna lie, it was very discouraging. But I just kept telling myself to keep going, because eventually, it may not show like on the outside, but I could definitely feel it like inside. But yeah, I just kept reminding myself to just keep pushing forward, just to keep going. Because eventually, like, I felt like I woke up and I looked like a completely different person.
Yeah. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. It was. I think it was around Christmas time, but yeah, like I felt like I woke up and I looked in the mirror. I was like, whoa, I look different. And then I looked back at like pictures like from the past and stuff, and then like I really like saw the change.
Yeah.
And so that, like, seeing that progress just like motivated me even more to keep going. So yeah, I'd say the biggest like hurdle for me was just like even though I wasn't seeing the results with my eyes, just have that mental ability to just keep pushing forward, because eventually I'll see it. I'll see them.
Yeah. And because you documented the journey.
Yeah.
Because you put yourself in an uncomfortable position of taking picture and video. Like you did video, right? Not everyone will necessarily have to go that route to take video. I think video is so powerful. And if we've learned anything from social media over just the past 2 years of video, it is king, like over everything. So in terms of content, video is king, because the content we make all is now centered around video. Yeah. And so with having documented your journey and knowing where you were, you could look back and say, that's where I was in the video and the picture. And then look at yourself then, because we see ourselves every single day.
Yeah.
And you don't see the changes every single day because you see yourself every day. And it's the small things we do day in and day out that become habits that can go the other way. Like, you don't see yourself gaining. People who come in here, in their 50s and 60s to come work with us, they're like, well, I'm really overweight now. It's like, I wasn't that way younger. It's like, of course we weren't. We all weren't where we are now because of one little thing. It's because of the years of effort or lack thereof, of this consistency of good habits or habits that aren't helping us. And so you took that journey of documenting it and being able to not see progress and getting discouraged, but still knowing you need to move forward. So even 2 months into it, of working out 5 to 6 days a week, you weren't seeing the progress you wanted to see.
And I also like wasn't really seeing much change on the scale. So that's like one of the things I want to talk about real quick is just like when I first started out, like last year, started out again last year, I was really like addicted to the numbers. Like just like solely focused on what the scale said. And I'd say it held me back. It held me back a lot just because it wasn't always what I thought it would be, but like, it was discouraging. And so like moving forward from that, like eventually, like I've learned to stop focusing on that, and just to, take it slow, basically. Because, I mean, the scale may not, what am I trying to say here? The scale may not, be what you want it to be, like, number wise, but I definitely was feeling, like the improvements, even if I wasn't seeing it on the scale or like physically, I definitely felt it, like, just like cardio wise, basically. And so I'm so glad I just stuck with it, and just being patient, which is the big thing with me. It's just like, that was one of the big things, just learning, is just being patient with the whole journey, especially just from not seeing results to like waking up feeling like a new person, like a couple months down the road.
That's so good. You're right. Patience is, when making such a big change in your life, especially in fitness, especially with anything regarding weight loss or healthy weight management, whatever way that might be for some people, patience is it's like the magic pill that everyone looks for, the magic pill, but that's the one that we all know we can take because we all have it. But it's a matter of, do you want to take that pill? And are you willing to swallow it down? Yeah. And it's a hard pill to swallow. It's a really tough pill to swallow. But the patience pill is something that, if you can swallow it down and keep it down, it will result in the exact things that you want to have happen. And I don't know the timeline. I don't guarantee a timeline. But I can guarantee that if you can take that patience pill, and if you can stay consistent and keep it down, you will see the kind of changes, progress, results, and everything that you want to see. And so, wow, man, you hit on a lot of really good topics and things. Was there more you want to add in, or should we wrap things up here?
We can wrap things up.
All right. All right. Well, then you know the role. So what I want to do is I want you to think about what you would say to maybe your younger self, maybe to someone who was in your position, who was struggling with their weight, maybe with staying consistent, with having gotten to a point in their life where, they want to make a change. They started a journey, didn't stick, went backwards, maybe even worse than where they started, but then got to a place where it was time to make that change. What would you say to that person right in that moment? What would you say to that person? Give me the 60-second version of it.
Wait, you didn't do your commercial.
I'll plug it at the end.
Okay.
You already know. Yes, you're right. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. There you go. Go ahead.
I would say is that.
Oh.
Yeah.
A little edit video guy. Let's make sure you're there. Okay, this is good.
Wait, can you give me the?
Yeah. What would you say to that person who had gone through the struggle already, who had a weight loss goal, who had a healthy weight management goal, who had a goal in mind, and they felt like they were so far away because they'd done it before and they failed at it. They didn't get as where they wanted to be, and now they're back to square one, and they feel a little discouraged, but they know they need to do it. What would you say to that person?
I would say that failure is inevitable. Okay, and failure is how you grow. It's how you learn. experience matters, and throughout that experience, you will fail. It's something that for me I had to accept, especially with video or fitness. It's like I've taken what I was learning, what I've may not been good at, and just growing from it and trying my best to learn as much as I can from it. Especially even if it doesn't always work out, just trying to find out why it didn't work out or what could I change and how I could grow from it. But yeah, I would say just if you fail, keep going. If you feel like if you fail, keep going. Try your best not to get discouraged, because I guarantee you, if you stick it out, you will see the results you want. It may not happen overnight. I can guarantee it won't happen overnight.
Or in 2 months for some people.
Yeah. It won't happen overnight, but I guarantee you, if you stick it out and you just persevere through like whatever hard time or difficult thing you're going through or something, you will see the results you want. And I feel like that's very important for people to know, because once I started seeing real results from my fitness journey, people ask me like, what did I do, to lose all that weight and stuff, and I was very, very blunt with them and just said, consistency, perseverance, just keep finding what works for me, small habits, what works for me, and just keep going at it.
Beautiful.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, so good. I'm going to cut you off there. That was good. That was good. I feel like that's going to be a good reel. It's going to be a good reel later. But the last thing I'm going to add in there, I'm about to coin this. I don't know if it's a thing, but I feel like I've made it up. The patience pill. Mm-hmm. I feel like the patience pill. You
put that on the shirt.
Yeah, throw that one in. Put it on a shirt. Yeah, got to take the patience pill. But you're right, man. In so many different ways, you may not see results overnight. You most likely can guarantee that you will not see them overnight. Mm-hmm. Maybe not in 1 month, maybe not in 2 months, maybe not in a year. It might take longer than that. Everyone's circumstances are different. Everyone's life is different. Everyone's makeup is different. Physical attributes are different. Everything is different. So you cannot compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 17. Mm-hmm. And just because you're in chapter 17 and someone else is on chapter 17, you guys might be in whole different books. Mm-hmm. And your book might be 100 pages and have 100 chapters, and mine might be 5,000 and have 200 chapters. I don't know. But the fact of the matter is, the fact you said consistency. Mm-hmm. When everyone asking you how you did it, no one was asking you that in month 1 or month 2. Yeah. They're asking you way later a year later down the road. How you do it? How'd you do it? People had you on a podcast to talk about it. But you said it right there. You hit the nail on the head, man. Consistency will always beat intensity. Mm-hmm. Always.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just, for me, it's very important to, I'd say, yes, think about the end goal, but also enjoy your journey, because that's where you learn everything. That's where you build your character. That's where you face your challenges. You overcome everything. And it's just, yes, think about your end goal, but also embrace your journey.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. So good in so many things. And you said so many great things in there too, man. Like the failure part, failure is inevitable. Yeah, failure is inevitable. And the only way failure is a true dictator for whether or not you succeed is if you quit or if you keep going. Mm-hmm. And you keep going. Mm-hmm. And I want to give everybody who's listening and watching to right now, whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through right now, if you have failed up to this point, congratulations, you're still going forward. If you feel like failure is happening right now, keep going. And if it hasn't happened yet, it might very well happen. But if you're failing, that means you're going for it. That means you have not stopped. Mm-hmm. And the only way you lose is if you quit. So just keep going. Keep going forward. Swallow that patience pill. Stay consistent. And remember, JaQuan's has done it. You can do it too. Yeah?
Yeah.
Good? We'll wrap it up?
Yeah.
So thanks so much for hanging out with us here on the Better Fitness Proof podcast. If you haven't already done so, make sure you click the subscribe button here on YouTube. Make sure you click the subscribe button on podcasts, on the Apple platform, on the Spotify platform, wherever you're listening. Or, additionally, give it a 5-star rating, because JaQuan's reason is amazing. Give it a thumbs up on the video, and we'll see you again next time. All right?
Thanks for watching, guys. I'm about to go film a wedding now, so wish me luck.
All right. See you later. Bye.